Hello everybody, my name is Xander Ben1 and today we will be covering the middle Nurse Father Outis' kit reveal. This video is not scripted, so there may be a lot of issues with it, but without further ado, let's get right into it. To start us off with the simple things, we start with obviously skill 1, Stomping, which gives her coin power for every burn and bleed on the target. Before use, if the unit has Lat Vein, activate I'll Gut You Like a Fish, which is the skill 1-2. On use, if they have Middle Vengeance Tattoo, convert coin 2 into Unbreakable Coin. On hit, inflict bleed count, raise stagger threshold, inflict bleed again, and if this unit has the middle I can't speak. If this unit has the Middle Vengeance status, inflict bind next turn. Skill 1-2. It's a Lat Vein exclusive skill. Gain coin power for every burn and bleed on target. The skill gains offense level equal to the highest envy resonance to a certain amount. If this unit has Middle Vengeance Tattoo, inflict additional bleed and coin hit. Before attack, gain burn equal to the number of coins in the skill. Attack end, lose SP. On hit, inflict bleed count, as well as raising stagger threshold. And on the second coin, you inflict burn and burn 2. Okay. If this unit has, Vengeance Tattoo, inflict bind and paralyze next turn. Skill 2. Gain coin power for every burn and bleed on the target. Before use, if this unit has Lat Vein, activate as Gut Stab. This skill gains offense level equal to highest resonant to a certain amount, presumably 6. Convert the skill's coin equal to Middle Vengeance Tattoo into Unbreakable Coins, beginning with coin 3. If this unit's sword is at first seal removed or second seal removed stage, inflict burn by the base amount of bleed. The skill inflicts on coin 1, 2, 2. Gain aggro on the skill slot next turn. Inflict bleed, bind, bleed, paralyze, and bleed, as well as dealing blunt damage equal to burn on target. Move on to skill 2-2. If the target has a certain amount of burn and bleed, gain final power, gains offense level equal to highest envy resonance. Gain aggro on this skill slot next turn. Gain burn equal to the number of coins on the skill. Lose SP at attack end. Inflict burn, bleed, burn count, and bleed count, as well as inflicting blind and paralyze next turn. These are pretty simple but pretty strong. Let's move on to the next part. On your skill 3, you can gain final power for every burn and bleed on target. Add a certain amount of envy resonance, gain coin power. If the unit has Lat Vein, activates complete and total extermination. The skill gains offense level equals to highest resonance, gain final power for every Vengeance Tattoo, convert the skill's coins equal to Vengeance Tattoo into Unbreakable Coins, beginning with coin 3. And the unit's... I can't fully read that. Oh no, okay. If the unit's sword is at first seal or second seal removed, inflict burn by the base amount of bleed on the skill that inflicts on coin hit. On attack end, consume all middle grudge on self, and if the skill is activated as a counter skill, gain blunt damage up next turn. It inflicts bleed, bleed count, bleed again, and more bleed. On skill 3-2, you gain final power for every burn and bleed, of course. You deal more damage for every burn and bleed. Skill gains offense equal to highest envy resonance, of course. If the middle unit has Vengeance Tattoo, gain coin power. If it has Vengeance Tattoo, inflict bleed potency and coin hit. For attack, gain burn equal to the number of coins in the skill. Lose SP on attack end, consume all middle grudge. And if the skill is activated as a counter skill, you gain blunt damage up next turn. You inflict burn, burn count, bleed, slash damage equal to burn on target and bleed on target at a certain percentage of the coin's final damage. Inflict bleed count, do the same kind of thing as the coin before it, and then deal pierce damage equal to burn, and do the same thing as the ones before it. Then we get into the skill 3-3, which is a little bit crazy to have this many skills. External effects cannot trigger the skill to be reused. If this unit has a middle vengeance tattoo, deals slash damage equal to a percentage of coin's final damage on coin hit. After the attack ends, remove a seal from the sword. Inflict burn, bleed, raise stagger threshold, and inflict envy fragility next turn. This is pretty damn strong. And of course, the counter, we all know it, we all love it. Rule violation. At a certain sum of enemy resonance, probably 6, use Stamp of Vengeance or Complete and Total Extermination as a counter. Combat start, also gain a certain percent of your missing HP as shield. You inflict bleed and lower the use of stagger threshold by using this counter. Obviously, with the middle meta, you just spam counter, so yeah. Now this is just, oh my god. Latvian exclusive skill. The skill 3-4. We joked about this happening in like season 9 or something. This is season 7. Unclashable. External effects cannot trigger this skill to be reused, and the skill does not trigger defense skills. Gain final power for every certain amount of burn and bleed on the main target. Gain final power, deal more damage for vengeance tattoos on self. If Kira Ishmael's among the targets, deal more damage. Consume all middle grudge and gain middle grudge. If a targeted ally is killed, gain middle grudge. If target's blunt resisted below normal, treat it as normal. Inflict burn and bleed count. Inflict burn and bleed count again. Well, no, bleed and bleed count. And deal 1 damage equal to a certain percent of this coin's final damage. The fact that she's not just attacking Ishmael, but anyone on the team, that's so funny to me. On middle team, she's gonna be an op, an absolute demon. And I cannot wait to get this identity when sharding time is available. Now moving on to the passives, I'm going to kind of rush through these because they're not all that complicated, but let's get right into them right now. Alright, Smell Blood and Fire. This unit is considered as an identity and inflicts burn and bleed. If it gets first seal or second seal removed, skills that inflict bleed are considered skills that inflict both burn and bleed. Saikai is just another buff for Blade Chew that gives entanglement, take less damage, and when it hit, gain offense level. That's what Blade Chew will get when she kills Outthias. Moving on to the next 2 passives, or 1 passive, I don't know, depending on editing. Latvein is a very simple passive. All it really does is buffs your abilities, turns them into skill 2 variations or further. It gives Rising Fever and Ridiculous Grit, which are super strong. I'm not going to get into them, but all you need to know is that they're really good. And you recover from stagger at turn end. So yeah, pretty strong and pretty standard for the nurse followers. Parenting. If the House of Spiders middle Princess Ishmael's on the field alongside this unit, gain the following effects. On Clash 1, gain Check This Out Kiddo, which is a good buff. It's a pretty good buff. When Ishmael gains a clash, wins a clash, she gains I Got Praised, which is a buff for her. On hit using her skill, when she gains I Got Praised, yeah, it's pretty good. Now this is the really funny one. Whenever a unit on the field loses a clash, they get targeted by the skill 3-4. She gets mad when they lose the clash. It's really funny. There's Y HP conditionals instead of X. It's weird. Anyways, if it kills someone, you gain envy damage up next turn. Pretty simple. If it kills Kira Ishmael, gain Avenging My Family next turn instead, which is a pretty strong buff as you would expect from this identity. Now, onto her Book of Vengeance. Apply Vengeance mark on X enemies that deal the most skill damage to an ally. Apply Book of Vengeance on X enemies that deal the most skill damage to this unit. Gain Middle Grudge for every enemy resin X. Following conditions are met during the combat phase. Gain Middle Grudge when it's hit by another skill or when a Kira Ishmael is hit by a skill. Following conditions are met. You can, I don't know. You gain it. Okay. Alright, let me stop rushing through this. When it gains the middle grudge, if the target has Vengeance Mark, gain an additional stack of middle grudge. Gain it every time this unit consumes. Gain Vengeance Tattoo every time the unit consumes the middle grudge. Effects only apply to Cure Ishmael. In the House of Spiders, Nur's father Outis is hit by another unit skill. And on to the last passive, which is the support passive. Allies that equip counter skills gain damage up and protection. If the affected ally is in the middle, the said ally gains envy damage up and protection instead, surprisingly making this unit decently viable for benchwarming. Overall, a pretty good identity, I would say. You should get it, but be wary of the fact that she will absolutely obliterate your team if you're not careful, and she's probably going to be a powerhouse on the middle team in particular. I can imagine that for certain. Overall, I would say I'm very excited about this identity. I mean, this was the one I was looking forward to the most because it was the Nurse Father we literally saw clashing with the color fixer, so, obviously it would be exciting. And knowing that she's very gimmicky also makes it fun because I believe the gimmicky identities in this game are really what makes it shine. Nurse Father Yisang is probably the most fun identity in the game to use, in my opinion, up there with Araya Shu/Blade Shu. Yeah, with all of that in mind, your game plan is to just play it as normal, use skill 3 as much as possible, try to get Lat Vein, and yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for the rushed nature and a lot of things that came out wrong. I'm more focused on getting this video out and putting quality into it because, no one sees my videos, so I wouldn't expect to get views on it. Please like and subscribe if you somehow did enjoy my content. I love the engagement. And with everything said for this video, I have nothing more to say. Goodbye and have a great day. See you in the next one. Bye.